Welcome back to my through hike of New Zealand, everyone. This is episode 11 of my Te Araroa series, where I am hiking the 3,000 kilometer length of New Zealand with my husband, Brian. This is a very special episode because we are about to finish the South Island section of the trail. So far, we have covered 1,223 kilometers, that's 760 miles, from the southern terminus of the trail. In this episode, we embark on our final 4 days of hiking on the South Island and marvel at the coastal beauty. We reach the end of the island, take a boat to town, have a fun day off, and then take the ferry across to the North Island. I cannot wait to share this stunning and exciting section with you. Okay, let's get into the episode. Here we go, we're starting out, leaving town at 1 p.m, 23 kilometers to go. So we'll get into camp late, but that's okay because we're well fed and we're feeling good, and we are doing our final section of the South Island. Today we are leaving the town of Havelock and hiking mostly on road to where the TA links up with the Queen Charlotte track, which we will follow for the rest of the way to the northernmost point of the trail on the South Island. We have 90 kilometers, that's 56 miles, until we are done hiking the length of the South Island, which is honestly hard to believe. The South Island segment of the TA is 1,313 kilometers, or 816 miles, which means at the end of this episode, we will still be a couple hundred kilometers shy of the halfway point. We are both thrilled to be so close to finishing a whole island of this trail. Wow, this is so incredibly beautiful. Feels so good to be looking out at the ocean. What do you think, Brian?
I have tears in my eyes because I'm just so proud of how far we've come. It's really meaningful to see this view and to be here with you and know all the stories and the laughs and the tribulations it took to get us here.
Yeah. We've officially made it to the start of the Queen Charlotte track. We feel really relaxed today. We feel confident we've done this much. The trail is extremely cruisy right now. It's so wide and beautiful. We've done so much technical hiking behind us. And from everything we've heard from Sobos is the North Island, there's not much that's technical in terms of hiking. You can do more kilometers per day, and it's more of a cultural experience, which is going to be amazing because we haven't experienced that a whole lot. We've been so deep in nature so often. My legs are a little bit sore from the big day yesterday, but I still feel pretty good. And we're probably about 1.5 kilometers from camp as the sun's setting here, so we'll make it by dusk. This is magical, this spot. I'm loving it. Whenever we get to camp, one of us does the tent and one of us does the water, and we just decide what we feel like. Usually one of us has a stronger feeling on what we want to do that day. So we just sort of say what we're going to do, and the other person just knows they're going to do the other thing. So I'm on water, Brian's on tent. Feels really good to be here. We're so happy to be close to the ocean, and this just feels so good. It smells so good. It reminds me of home. Good morning. It was such a good sleep here last night. So quiet and calm. We were the only people at this campsite. We've got 30 kilometers and we think it'll take us 12 hours. Should be a beautiful day today. It's a bit cloudy, so it won't be too hot. So Brian and I are gonna have to be very focused today. You ready to go? I took down the tent.
Thank you. You did a lot of good tasks.
Time to pack up. Here we go. 9 a.m. start. Okay, here we go. Bye, beautiful beach. Look at these ferns. Incredible. I don't even have to duck. They're that tall. The Queen Charlotte track is a very popular hiking route here in New Zealand. We had to buy an additional permit to enter the track, which we were able to do online. The 70-kilometer track is wide and benched and is suitable for both walkers and mountain bike riders. There are many transport options available, mostly by boat, to get you to your desired spot on the track. There are many lodgings along the route, and it's very possible to go on a resort-to-resort hike and have your belongings shuttled for you. Wow, so amazing. We passed many hikers with small day packs enjoying this option. We were also very happy to enjoy the amenities of the resorts along the route. We started taking side trips of varying lengths down to the resorts to buy cold drinks and hot food. It was an absolute luxury and we were loving it. We have now had a nice break, a late lunch. We have 14 kilometers to go. You can hear the bugs, you know it's hot. There's not a lot of water, so what we had to do is go down to a resort to get water. It's 6 p.m. so we stopped at this cooking shelter and water source to prepare our noodles. And then we're probably gonna push another 5K, eat our dinner, and then do the final 4.5 to camp. Should we get going now?
For soon.
For at least 800 years, Maori have occupied these sounds. Tota Ranui, the Maori name for the Queen Charlotte Sound, was an important area for them. The sheltered sound was used for travel and provided bountiful seafood for the many Maori who lived there from the sheltered inlets. We just had a beautiful dinner, and we're just gonna cruise into camp now with the last of the daylight. You see, it's just so stunning. We're just finishing getting set up in the tent now. Heading to bed. See you tomorrow for another 30-kilometer day. Good night. We were just lying here about to fall asleep, and we heard the rustle of a possum climbing up a tree where we had tied our sacks filled with our food. Hey! So we got out of the tent, we scared off the possum, and we realized we needed a different plan. We went down to the shelter, and we found that the ceiling had like metal mesh. So we hung our food up there, and then I checked the logbook, and somebody had written that that was a good strategy to do. This campsite is absolutely crawling with possums. It's unbelievable. We've never seen so many. Very adventurous. It's now like 10:30 p.m., so we really need to go to sleep. Morning. That was a brutal night. I woke up at 1:30 and I thought Brian was like up, like rifling through one of his Ziplocs looking for something, and I was like, Brian, is that you? What are you doing? And he was like, I'm not moving. Like he was fully fast asleep, but I could hear that crinkling of a Ziploc, and I was like, oh, must be one of the animals. But I was confused because I was like, none of our food is here. So I turn on my light, and there's an animal down by Brian's backpack. As soon as I shine my light on it, it scurries away, and it moved like a weka. And I'm like, oh, weird, what was it doing? And I look closer, and it had made a hole in our tent, in the mesh, and it was trying to pull Brian's Ziploc bag with his toilet paper out of the tent, and it had half the Ziploc bag out. It was pulling it through the hole about this big that it made. And like, it was literally just plain toilet paper. Nothing scented. So We have a hole in our tent now. It's still roaming around close to camp. Brian's gone down to the food shelter where we hung up our food bags.
So it must have been Possum Olympics down where we were hanging this. It is just full of possum poo. Directly underneath these two bags.
And then how do they look? Do they look
They look totally fine.
unscathed?
Yeah. So I think they spent all night trying to jump and climb and do whatever they could to get the hanging bags. What a funny night.
We just had a very rejuvenating coffee and french fries at the cafe there at Punga Cove. And we've got 22 kilometers to go and it's about noon. We were definitely slower this morning than normal after that wild night. So yeah, it's been quite the eventful last 24 hours. So here we go. We're gonna be hiking along the coast mostly for the next, I think 15 kilometers. From here, I think we have a few kilometers down to where we're gonna camp. 3.8 kilometers to camp. So we're gonna make our dinner and start cold soaking our dinner now. And then we've decided we're gonna stay at the cabins down there because we don't want any more holes in our tent. Oh, that's punctured.
I think.
So we can't eat that. It's definitely from the claws.
And these both have punctures.
Yeah. So we decided that anything that got punctured from the claws of the possum, we don't want to eat. We probably would if we had a stove and we were boiling it, but because we're not boiling it, anything that got in on the claws is going to be
dirty.
Just not killed and we'll just eat it and blah.
So then we're going to need yours.
Okay. No! Shoot. Yeah, this is fine.
Yeah.
Cold soaking has started. We're taking a 400-meter side trail to some cabins. We're hoping to get a cabin tonight to avoid any critters. We made it. We got to our tramper's hut, and since it's lower season, we have this entire hut to ourselves, so I'll show you around. I just did a glorious body shower, hot water, and we can close the doors. There's wekas wandering around here too, but we could close the doors and they won't get in, and it just feels so good. I'll show you around the hut. We got all our stuff spread out here. We're gonna share this bed and use our quilts, and then there's a bunk bed here. And there's a second room with 2, 4, 6 bunks. I bet you this is absolutely packed in high season. And then there's a bunch of hooks here, so we're hanging up all our stuff to air out. And out here is our little toilet. So it's just a toilet and a sink, so we don't have to go far if we need to use it. Good morning. We just left our cabin and we're headed back to the trail, just on the little side trail now. And we've got 6 kilometers to go until we're done the South Island. Feels pretty surreal right now. We have a time limit. We've got to catch our boat at 10 a.m. There goes Brian. Is that a nice view?
Oh yeah.
it out. Wow, there's where we're going. So stunning. The end of the South Island. Almost there. We made it! The end of the South Island! Okay, let's check out the terminus here. There's a toilet, and apparently there's a monument. This marks the end of the South Island segment of our Te Araroa through hike. So far, we have hiked 1,313 kilometers, 816 miles, from the southernmost to the northernmost end of the TA on this island. Our next segment will start at the southernmost point of the TA on the North Island. We will hike from there, kilometer 1,313, to the northern terminus at kilometer 3,040, which means that we have 1,727 kilometers or 1,073 miles remaining. Not quite halfway. We have heard from every fellow through hiker we've passed that the North Island is very different from the South Island. We are so excited to find out what they mean. To get from the trail back to town, we needed to book a water taxi. They took us from the terminus to the town of Picton, and the whole ride took about an hour. They brought us into the second half of a tour, and we got to learn about the area from a knowledgeable guide. Okay, we made it on our boat! So exciting! Here's the outdoor area. Here's the inside. And we got supplied with all these. And we got handouts about the wildlife. It's hard to explain how we were feeling on this boat ride, but our beaming smiles say it all. We were ecstatic. We just kept squeezing each other's arms and repeating to each other that we were done a whole island. Okay, now that we have arrived in Picton, I will tell you the rest of our travel plans. We decided we wanted a day off from the trail tomorrow to have a different kind of fun. We took a bus from Picton to Blenheim, where we will stay 2 nights and do some wine tasting tomorrow in the Marlborough wine region. After that, we will bus back to Picton and take the ferry from Picton to Wellington. We made it into Blenheim, and we're headed to our hotel now. Tomorrow we have a bike rental, and there's vineyards everywhere. We rented a tandem bicycle from a local bike shop and set out on a self-guided wine tour. We called ahead and made reservations at a few different wineries and then followed our wine map to each one, referencing the notes I had written on it when making the bookings. It was actually quite the challenge to get used to starting and stopping on the bike. I'm ready.
3, 2, 1, action.
Oh yeah. Wow, we're getting good at this. First tasting done, and now we have lunch at 11:30. We planned the earliest lunch we could, and I'm so glad we did. We're hungry hikers. Our bodies are used to hiking at this point and not biking. It was a lot of fun to ride through the vineyards and have a carefree day on the bike together. Wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, wow.
Your food is just arriving.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, nice. Thank you.
Everything here I've never had.
Fantastic. There is just nice. You've ordered your wine
That is quite nice.
and the rest of right
This morning, we took the bus back to Picton and then the ferry over to Wellington. We decided to take another day off in Wellington to get ourselves organized for the next stretch of hiking. We went out for delicious food, did a bit of gear shopping, and worked on patching our tent. We are very excited to share this next section of the trail and see what the North Island has to offer. We will be starting the North Island in next week's episode. See you then. Thank you so much for watching.